Okay. So with the eyes generally closed, start to pay attention to the sound outside the room. Maybe people in the lobby. And then start to notice the sounds within the room. Maybe the person next to you. Maybe the HVAC system. And then start to notice your own sounds. Maybe you can hear your breath. We're going to start with a hand mudra today, and it's just making two fists and pointing the thumbs together. It's called Gushta mudra. This is to relieve anxiety. It's also for tension in the shoulders. We're also going to do against the wave breath work. What that is like you're walking up a staircase. So we'll go up 1/3, you'll hold your breath. We'll go up 2/3 and hold your breath. Go up full capacity and then exhale your breath out. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Inhale for 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale full capacity. Exhale and release. Inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale full capacity. Exhale, release. Inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale full capacity. Exhale and release. Go ahead and release the hand gesture. Maybe place the hands down on the knees. Blink open the eyes. Come back to your natural breath. We'll lift up, move the block out of the way and find our way onto our sit bones. Bring your right palm down to the mat. We're going to inhale and lift up the left arm up overhead and press out our rib cage. Take a moment to breathe into it. Inhale back up to center. Exhale over to the other side, pressing out the rib cage. A lot of these movements can be done with your eyes closed, and I encourage you to do that just to go inward for the practice. Inhale back up to center. We'll take our left hand over to the right knee. Just do a gentle twist, taking our other hand behind us, mainly twisting with the core, not really pulling with our arms. Sit up tall. On your inhale, come back to center. We're going to take it to the other side. Inhale back to center. Take the hands off the side overhead. Reach tall, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips and reach as far forward as you can. And then try to press your sit bones back. Drop the head, relax the neck. On your inhale, let's start to roll back up. Take the hands behind us and just press up your chest as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind together. Inhale back up to center. We'll roll over the knees and find our way to tabletop. Stacking our wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Pull the stomach up and in, strong core. On your inhale, take your right leg back, press the heel towards the back wall. Inhale, take your left hand forward, thumb up. Stretch long, one toe to the big hand. That didn't make any sense. On your exhale, elbow to knee, round the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Then take both these top limbs out to the side. See if you feel it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, set it down. Shake it out. Maybe a quick cat-cow. So in the cow pose, we're lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, lifting the chest. Exhale, cat, round the back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, come back to center. Strong core. Take your left leg back, heel towards the back wall. Inhale, the right hand forward, thumb up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen one more time. We'll take the limbs out to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, set it down. Tuck the back toes, and then sit back on your heels, and then reach back and tuck the pinky toes as well. We'll take the hands out to the side, take them behind us and interlace the fingers. Press both the fists down as far as you can and lift the chest. Then we relax the shoulders. Bring both hands over to the right hip, and then drop your head over to the right side. Notice the tension in the neck. Drop your chin down towards your chest. And bring the gaze back up towards the ceiling. On our inhale, we come back to center. Take our hands to the other side. Dropping our head over. It might be different. And down towards the chest. Gaze up towards the ceiling. And back up top. Release the hands. Come to tabletop. Feet are probably feeling right now, so tap out the feet. Let the blood flow. And when you're ready, I'll meet you at the top of the mat, standing. So to start with, lift up all the toes. Try to lower them down in sequence, maybe small toe to big toe. Put a slight bend in your knees. We'll tuck the tailbone. Pull the stomach in. Lift up the chest. Roll out the shoulders. And then pull the chin back over the chest so you don't have a chicken neck. Maybe close the eyes. Notice your balance. Notice your balance physically. Notice your balance mentally. Notice your balance emotionally. Maybe find your intention for the practice. That may sound something like, I'm just going to make it through the practice. It might sound like I'm going to explore every breath and movement. When you're ready, we'll blink the eyes open, take the hands to the side, up overhead, face the palms together, and drop the shoulders. Take a deep inhale and lengthen, reach as high as you can. Exhale, hinge at the hips and reach for the toes. When you inhale, we're going to place our hands on our thighs and create an L shape with the body, pulling our chest up. And exhale, reach for the toes. Inhale, strong core, pull the stomach up and in, reach for the ceiling. Maybe interlace the fingers and press the hips forward, lean back. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold. Step the feet a little bit wider so they're hip width distance apart, and place 2 fists between your feet to get the proper alignment. And then place both your hands in the crooks of the elbows. Just let your head drop. Maybe sway from side to side, bending one knee at a time. And in this class, I tend to go a little bit fast. So if you find a posture that works for you, I want you to stay in that posture and enjoy it. This class is your class. I'm just here to suggest postures. Go ahead and release the hands down to the mat. On your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. We're going to take the right foot back. Find our supported lunge. So you're dropping the knee down. Maybe untuck the toe. When you have your balance, we'll bring the torso up on an inhale. Hands to heart center. Deep inhale. As you exhale, twist towards the bent knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. This time we're bringing the torso forward, bringing the elbow to the knee. Try to bring that left shoulder back to open up the chest. And these twists are bringing out the organs, all the toxins for cleaner digestion. On your inhale, we'll come back up. We'll straighten the front leg and find a seat on the ground. See how this feels on the knee. If it's too tight, I want you to grab a block and we'll sit on the block for elevation. Once you have that, we'll sit up tall, long spine. As you exhale, we're going to reach for the front toes. They can be passive, or you can grab onto the shin or the toes, whatever feels good for you. On your next inhale, we'll come back up. If the knee's okay, we'll start to lean back. If the knee's tight on you, I want you to stay upright. But if it's okay, lean back onto the elbows. On your inhale, we'll start to back up. Find our way back into our supported lunge. Good. Tucking the back toes and lifting the back knee. And then stepping into a high plank on your inhale. On exhale, press the hips up high, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, dropping one heel at a time. Also bring attention to your palms. You want to make sure that there's not a bubble underneath the palms and that your fingertips are gripping the mat, so pulling back towards the palm of the hand. This will protect the wrist. When you're ready, we're going to start to walk our hands back towards our feet, finding a forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Interlace the fingers, press the hips forward, lean back, lift up the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, drop the hands. Step forward with the right foot. Take a big, long step, and then lower the knee down, finding your supported lunge. If you did so on the other side, you can untuck the back foot, toes. Hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist towards the bent knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. We'll bring our elbow down to the knee for supported twist. Inhale back up to center. And release the hands. What do we do after this?
Can we go back?
Yes, go back. Thank you. Finding your way onto your seat. I'm glad you guys are here to remind me. I just make this stuff up on the go. All right. So this side might be different. That's okay. But if it's tight on this knee, go ahead and lift up and sit on a block to relieve some of that. On your inhale, bring the hands up overhead, stretch long for the ceiling. On your exhale, reach for the front toes. On your next inhale, we'll start to roll up. If you're seated on a block or if your knee is tight, I want you to stay upright. But if it feels okay, we'll start to come back just onto the elbows. Like Wednesday. On your inhale, we'll start to press up 3 to 5 minutes, yes. Just depending on how. Thank you, it's at 5. All right, come back to supported lunge. Reach down and grab the mat, lift up the back knee, inhale, high plank. Exhale, bring the knees down. And with your hands walked out, we're gonna start walking the hands forward, bringing our chest down towards the mat for puppy dog pose. Maybe our chin comes to the mat. Maybe our chest, maybe just the forehead. You should feel this, a deep stretch into the shoulders. On your next inhale, we're gonna start to walk the hands up, but not that much. We're gonna inhale the right hand up. On your exhale, we're gonna bring it underneath for a little bit of a twist. Inhale, open back up. Exhale for a twist. Inhale, open one last time. Exhale, twist as far as you can, and then we're gonna set down our shoulder and our head on the mat for threading the needle. On your inhale, we're gonna come back up, opening up the side, and then setting that hand down. Repeating on the other side, so I'm opening up for the right. Exhale and twist. Inhale and open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. This time, thread the needle. Lowering our shoulder, lowering the head down to the mat if it feels okay. Your next inhale, we'll start to raise back up. And we're taking the knees wide. I want you to keep your knees in line with your hips, but find a comfortable zone where you can get to, and then we'll try to bring our elbows down to the mat for floor frog. We'll just stay in this for about 5 minutes. So just breathe. When you're ready, any way you can come out of this. A lot of people push forward and just roll onto the belly. Some people can just pull their knees together. But we'll slowly and gently make our way back to standing at the top of the mat. So grounding to the left foot, we're gonna lift up our right leg, creating 90-degree angles with our hip, our knee, and our ankle. Sometimes it helps to press that big toe into the mat for balance. Once you have that, we'll take this bent knee out to the side. You can use your other hand as a counterbalance. And then bring the sole of the foot to the calf and press those two surfaces together, not the knee, but the calf. Bring the hands up overhead. A little willow like a tree. Pressing the hips to side. Then find stability. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Press the hips forward just a little bit more. Maybe try to close the eyes here. It's okay if you fall out, as long as you don't take it too serious. Blink the eyes open. Bringing this bent leg back forward and stretching it long. Maybe do some micro dips with standing knee. Good. Set it down, shake it out. Ground into the right foot. Bring the left leg up. Creating those 90-degree angles. Left out to the side. Making those two contact surfaces. Pressing the hips forward a little bit, lifting the chest. Hands overhead. Doing the willow. Anybody see the snowman out there? I thought that was pretty cool. Should bring him in here. Hands to heart center. Maybe try to close the eyes just for fun. Blinking the eyes open, bringing this knee forward, straighten out the leg, creating the micro dips, getting ready for ski season. Setting it down, shake it out. Good. All right, ground into the left leg. We're gonna bring the right leg up again, and then immediately go into a figure four. I want you to flex these toes towards this bent knee. This will help protect this knee. Press the hips forward. On your exhale, we're gonna start to bend into the standing leg, finding a chair. Bring the hands to heart center. And the goal will be just to eventually make it where we place our forearms onto this resting leg. But where you're at today is okay. Work in progress. On your inhale, we're gonna start to raise back up. Shaking out the leg. Good. Ground into the right leg. Left leg up. Creating that figure four. Onto the same place. On your inhale, we'll come back up. Straighten out the leg, shake it out. One more balancing pose. I don't think I've ever done it in this class before. So on your inhale, bring the hands up overhead, lift up the right leg, and then cross it over the knee as you bend the standing leg. You can kickstand it at the bottom. And then the left arm is going to go underneath the right. Create a double wrap. Let's see where we're at. If the hands don't work, you can grab the shoulders. Eventually, we want to try to get this leg wrapped around the other leg for eagle. On your inhale, let's go ahead and release up. Shake it out. All right, ground into the right leg, lifting up the left, creating that wrap, and then right under the left. Good. On your inhale, we'll start to release out of this. Shake it out. Take the feet to a 45-degree angle, maybe on the edges of the mat. On your exhale, we'll start to bend the knees, coming down to a squat. Good. And if your heels are up, you can roll your mat and stack the heels underneath that roll for support. Otherwise, you can take your elbows, press them into the knees, then lift up your chest, lengthening out the lower back. When you're ready, we'll bring the left hand down to the front of the toes, then open up to the right. Side twist. Then exhale back to center. Let's go to the other side. And back to center. Since we're here, we'll go ahead and place our hands in front of us and then rest our knees on our thighs. We're just going to lean forward just a little bit, just putting a little bit of pressure into the hands. That's all we're doing. If you want to take it further, you can. But for this class, we'll just do this. Just putting a little bit of pressure into those hands. Noticing the change in your body when you do this, how the breath changes. How maybe the shoulders tense up. Trying to make that change. When you're ready, we'll release down. We're gonna bring our knees down to the mat, the knees wide. Press our sit bones back towards the heels. Reach forward as far as you can. Drop your head down to the mat. Have your hands wide on the mats, almost like a V. Start to roll your head from left to right across the mat, working into the forehead. When you're ready, we're going to walk our right hand over to our left and stack the hands. And then try to recenter your hips, flatten back out so you're not rotated. But you're creating a side bend in the rib cage. When you're ready, we're going to switch sides, walking our right hand over to the right, walking our left over to the right, and stacking the hands again. When you're ready, we'll come back to center and making our way down to our belly. We're stacking the elbows underneath the shoulders, and then taking our palms and pulling them back towards our hips. And then try to lift your belly button off of the mat. Just for a moment, let your shoulders dump, and then re-engage them. Stay in the engaged. If you want a little bit more into your lower back, you can take your hands to a 45-degree angle and just press up into straight elbows. But if this doesn't feel good, come right back to the previous posture. If that's still not enough, you can bend your knees. If that's still not enough, you can place your head in the back here onto your feet. When you're ready, start to lower down onto your elbows. Keep the feet elevated and rock them left and right to release the lower back. We'll press up onto tabletop and make our way to standing when you're ready. So step all the way back to the back of your mat. Once you're there, we'll step forward with the left foot. We're going to spin our back foot to a 90-degree angle and bend into the front knee, finding our warrior two. Bring the arms out. We'll look for the big toe. If you can't see it, I want you to try to open up this front knee just as much as what your knee will allow. I want you to press back into the back edge of your foot, lifting the arch. We'll lift both the arms up to a V. Let the shoulders relax. Then look out over the front fingertips. Good. On your inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reach down the back leg. Good. Keep that bend in the front knee. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, bring the torso forward, elbow to knee. We're going to create a 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock with our arms. If it feels okay with the neck, look up towards the top thumb. And then try to open up your shoulders even more. Breathe into it. Inhale back up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Press the hips back. Bring the torso forward. 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. One more time. Inhale the torso back up and into the front knee. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Good. Spin the back heel up. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bring the knees down. Bring the chest down. Roll onto the belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting up the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Tuck the back toes. Press up onto the knees. Lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. Press strong into the hands. When you're ready, walk the hands back to your feet. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Drop the hands. Step forward with the right foot. Back leg to a 90-degree angle. Find warrior two on this side. Same cue alignments on this side. So getting that 90-degree angle good. Find the shoulders relaxed. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees down, chest, chin, roll onto the belly, untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Take your palms back by the hips, palms down. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up both the feet and both the hands. Inhale. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Reach back for the feet. How are we doing? Once you have the feet, pull the knees closer together. Chin on the ground. Lift the shoulder. Trying to pull the shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, we're gonna kick the feet into the hands and roll onto the soft part of the belly. Exhale, lower. We're gonna do this one more time. On your inhale, we'll lift up. Let go of the feet. Place the hands beside the shoulders. Windshield wiper the legs left and right. Then extend them long towards the edges of the mat. Tuck the back toes. Press up onto the knees. And on your exhale, find downward facing dog, pressing the hips up high. When you're ready, walk the hands back towards the feet, finding a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And release the hands. Take the feet out wide. You can turn sideways on the mat if you need better grip. We'll have the toes pointed outward, heels in for this time. Take the hands to the lower back. Just lean back a little bit and lift up the chest. Slight back bend. Breathe into it. On your next inhale, we're gonna bring the torso upright. Now we're gonna turn our toes inward, heels out. So a little bit pigeon toe. Strong core. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold, bring our hands down towards the mat. There's multiple variations you can try here. If you know your variation, you can go to that. This one, we're just gonna reach for our shins and just let the head drop. Lifting the hips up high, maybe lengthening one leg at a time if they're tight. When you're ready, we're gonna place our hands underneath their shoulders again and bending into the right knee. We're bringing the hips over to the right for a side lunge. As you do that, we'll try to bring our extended leg toes up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, we're gonna start to walk our hands across to the other side, bending into the other knee. Good. Then back to center. Bringing the knees down to the mat. We're gonna make our way to our sit bones. Grabbing our strap on along the way. If you can reach your toes, you probably don't need the strap. You can just grab the toes. But if you have the strap, we'll place it just beneath the toes so that we can sit back and hold back. Strap to be. On your inhale, sit up tall, pull the shoulders back. On your exhale, we're just gonna bring the torso forward using the strap. Lifted, or chest lifted. On your inhale, release that, let go of the strap. We're gonna bend the knees, soles of the feet on the floor. Take the hands behind us, point the tips away. On your inhale, lift up the hips, reverse tabletop. On your exhale, lower the hips back down. Lengthen the feet. Inhale the hands up high. Exhale, passive fold, reaching as far forward as you can, dropping the head, letting the back round, not pulling on anything, just letting gravity do all the work. On your inhale, roll back up, bend the knees, Take the hand behind us, fingertips away. Inhale, reverse table. Maybe it feels a little bit easier this time. Exhale, lower down. Sitting upright. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Reach for a block. Have a block handy. Press the feet as far away as you can, creating that diamond shape with the legs. And we're going to place a block on our feet to take a guess of where you can place your forehead. Maybe it's 2 blocks. That's okay. We're going to let the back round and relax the neck. Go to your comfort level. Breathe into it. On your inhale, we'll start to roll back up. We're going to help the hands up, or help the knees up with our hands. And then just windshield wiper the knees left and right. Roll over the toes and make your way onto your knees for standing. We'll have the toes tucked for this one. And bring your hands back behind, fingertips point down. Good. Press the hips forward, and then lift your chest up as high as you can towards the ceiling for slight back bends. If you want to take camel pose a little bit further, you can do that. On your inhale, we'll come back upright. Untuck the toes, sit on your heels, close the eyes, find your balance for just a moment. When you're ready, we'll roll back onto our sit bones. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and pull them in close as you can. And then reach down and grab the heels and open them up like a book. This will help drop the knees and open up the hips. You can use your elbows to press into the thighs. Keep the chin and the chest lifted, but lean forward. Good. On your inhale, go ahead and raise up the torso, help your knees up. Maybe do that windshield wiper again. When you're ready, we'll make our way onto our backs. Have the strap close by though. Backs with the lower back. Might be different, so give yourself patience. We're not symmetrical beings. When you're ready, we'll release that. We'll put the feet on the ground and your strap. We're going to take the right leg, place the strap just beneath the toes. We're going to hang onto that strap with the right hand. The left hand's going to go out to the side in a T. If it feels okay on the hips, you can extend the left leg to this whole flow. We're going to keep our shoulders and our hips right. We're going to switch it down toward the chest. Reach up and grab the half happy. Go with the left. And take the left, placing the strap. The left hand. Taking our right hand out to the side. If it feels okay, we'll extend the right leg to the end of the mat. Maybe pulling that strap a little harder so the foot comes further over the face. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, we'll take this left leg out to the left side, finding your full stretch. On your inhale, we're bringing the leg back up high. We're going to switch the hands. Right hand holds onto the strap, left hand out to the side. That foot slightly over the hips. Should flip pretty quick. And go back to center. We're going to bend the knee, bring it down towards the chest, grabbing the thigh or the foot for half happy baby. Exhale and release. Pushing the strap away from us. Bending the knees with the soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to lift up our right leg and create a figure four with the legs. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to bring this right foot down to the mat, twisting our hips. When you're ready, we're going to keep the same leg configuration. We're going to rock the hips the other way. Top, right, down to the ground. Switching sides. So creating that figure four, left leg on top. Take a deep inhale. And rotate that left leg down to the ground. Or side twist. Second. When you're ready, we'll come out of this posture, finding our final pose of Shavasana, corpse pose, with the legs extended to the end of the mat, hands beside the hips, palms up. And then try to bring your chin down closer to your chest to lengthen out the back of the neck. Tongue is stuck to the top of your mouth. Go and release it. Relax the jaw. With your eyes closed, take your gaze towards your forehead. Just look down towards your chin. Let your eyes come back to center and just let them relax. Take your gaze to your right ear. Your gaze. Bring the gaze back to center. Let the eyes relax. We're not really controlling our breath anymore. I want you to start counting down your breath, starting with the number 27. So it'll be I inhale 27, I exhale 27. Keep that going until you reach 0. Start to come back to the room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes and start to move your joints. Maybe turn your head from left to right gently. We'll bend the knees and place the soles of the feet on the floor and roll over onto our right side with the left nostril towards the ceiling. And then take your top hand and close off the bottom nostril and just breathe in and out of that top nostril. This is working the Ida energy, your calm energy, your feminine energy. When you're ready, you can release that nostril and come back to your natural breath. The eyes gentle or closed. We're going to take the top hand, press it into the mat, and come up to an easy seated posture. And a tall spine. Maybe drop the chin down towards the chest, finding your intention for the practice. It's been with you this whole time. May your days be happy, healthy, and full of love. Namaste. Have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. Stay out of the wind.